the A-hole Rehabilitators. The first thing you have to learn, and this is the bulk of the job I'm talking about here, is you've got to investigate thoroughly. Investigate? I'm pretty sure I can tell one right off. It's not that simple, new one. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're just having a bad day. We don't want to judge a guy just because he made a mistake. It's his overall attitude towards others that we're trying to judge. That's why we investigate. What's the second thing? What? You said that was the first thing. I assume there's a second thing. The second thing you've got to do is stop thinking about this as a demotion, as a failure. How can I not? Miracles aren't for everyone. I know it gets all the praise, but we do important work here, and he knows it. Has he ever visited? No. But he sent me a card once. A card. It was a nice card. He even wrote a personal note inside. I still have it. It's faded now, but you can still read it, still know it's his handwriting. Plus you already got your wings. You could work miracles for centuries and never get them. They're not what I had in mind. You'll get used to them. Besides, I hear feathers itch. Why no genitalia? We don't need it. Not even nipples. I feel like a grotesque Ken doll. A what? Never mind, fellow gargoyle. Don't ever call me that. And don't ever call yourself that. We ain't that. That's what everyone calls us. Not us and not him. Then why do we have to sit on the side of a building? This is our post. It is just so cliché. I don't know that word, but this is our spot. This is where we sit. Forever? Forever. They sat in silence for a time, watching the traffic below. My back hurts. Does your back hurt? I'll tell you that you'll get used to it, but you won't, and you'll always be hungry. Always? We never get to eat? Seems sadistic. There's purpose in it. It keeps us focused on our work. Use it for that and try not to think about it. Thinking about it, well, there's danger in that. You could go mad or do something foolish. Is that what happened to your old partner? Why he fell? I don't want to talk about that. Won't talk about that. Ever. And you'll do the same for me when I fall. When? Who can say? No, I mean you're resigned to it? Sooner or later we all fall. And I've been hanging on for a long time. But my grip is still strong and my endurance sure. I'll hang on a long time yet, long enough to teach you all I know like he did for me. And you'll honor me by teaching the next new one and never talking about the fall. Again they sat in silence, crouched on the edge of the building, 15 stories up, looking at the traffic below. An elderly woman had been trying to cross the street for several minutes, but the light was too fast. Finally, east-west traffic stopped regardless of the light, and she started out, but the driver in the second lane accelerated past her. He missed her by 2 feet, which startled the old woman. She nearly returned to the curb, but continued with the prompting of the stopped drivers. He's one. Are you sure? Maybe he didn't see her. He saw. Did you see him see? Everyone did. You're right. He did see. But what else? What do you mean, what else? It's not enough. The third thing you have to know is that there has to be 2 reasons and 2 witnesses. That's why we work as a team. Why 2 things? Why anything? That's just the way it is. And the 2 things have to be linked to the same incident. I thought we had one. I think we do. What else did his actions cause that could justify a judgment? The new one looked. The old lady had made it, but it had taken her nearly 4 minutes. In that time, the traffic lights had cycled through twice. His being one delayed the other drivers. Yes, I witness and testify that he's an asshole. Do you confirm? Yes. You have to say I confirm. I confirm. We have a judgment. Now we have to assign a punishment. VD. You new ones always want to dish out VD. Do you know how many of them already have it? Don't get me wrong, VD has its place for cheaters and such, but it's overdone. Now, this is more of a guideline than a rule, but I feel it needs to be tied to the act. Otherwise, what chance is there of rehabilitation? Is rehabilitation even possible? Sure it is. That's how I got the card. One card. How many centuries have you been doing this? It needs to be something personal, something humiliating and fear-laden, like what the old lady felt, and something that will delay his day, like the drivers who did the right thing. Explosive diarrhea. We can't kill anyone. That's not our calling. No making people explode. It's a figure of speech. Uncontrollable diarrhea. I like the creativity, but how are we going to tie it to the behavior? How are we going to give him a shot at rehabilitation? Every time he acts like an asshole, he will get uncontrollable diarrhea. Too general. Every time he cuts someone off in a crosswalk, he gets it. Better, but we can only assign a judgment once. Once? How will he ever make the connection between the behavior and the judgment? You're complaining to the wrong entity. I've been saying that for centuries, but it's the rule. The next time he cuts someone off in a crosswalk, he will get uncontrollable diarrhea. I like it. We'll have to get approval from the supervisor, but I like it. You might be working on your first card. Maybe my only one. You know how many years it took me to get my first card? And working together, me with my knowledge, and you with your creativity, we might just fix some of these assholes. If you enjoy the power of stories, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and consider purchasing my book, Hitching Devils and Other Stories. A link to that short story collection is in the description. What are we without our stories?